Coming in at number 10, we have Hailey Bieber. If you've been on the internet lately, you've probably seen the drama surrounding Hailey bashing Selena on social media. It seemed to have started when fans assumed that a TikTok posted by Hailey was about Selena. The TikTok, which has now been deleted, features Hailey and her friends lip syncing to a sound which says, "I'm not saying she deserved it, but God's timing is always right." Fans started to assume that this was in reference to Selena being body shamed over her vacation photos. After being questioned all over the internet, Hailey responds by saying, "I never comment on this type of thing, but we were just having a girls' night, and we just did a random TikTok sound for fun. It's not directed at anyone." Even Selena joins in to calm her fans by saying, "It's okay, I don't let these things get me down. Be nice to everybody." Even if that time was just a reach and a speculation, the more recent Hailey drama is hard to dismiss. After Selena posted a clip mentioning how she had over-laminated her eyebrows, Kylie Jenner posted a photo of herself saying this was an accident over her own eyebrows. It only gets worse when Kylie shares a screenshot from a FaceTime with Hailey only showing their eyebrows. Later in the day, fans realized Selena commented on an old photo of Hailey where she seems to be gagging at the mention of Taylor Swift's name. Selena wrote, "So sorry, my best friend continues to be one of the best in the game." With all the hatred coming from Hailey over the internet, it seems to have been enough to push Selena off social media for a while. The singer announced on TikTok saying, "I'm gonna be taking a second from social media because this is all a little silly. I'm 30, I'm too old for this." Hailey Bieber has really been showing her true colors lately and has yet to comment on any of the alleged bullying. But to her fans, her silence is definitely a statement in itself. Coming in at number 9, Lea Michele. The former Glee star Lea has sparked rumors for years of being an alleged mean girl. She began getting some heat over the past couple of years for being mean-spirited on the set of Glee, what she did later apologize for, but it didn't seem to end there. Her former co-star Heather Morris started speaking up back in 2021 as to why it took so long to come forward with these allegations. She says, "We absolutely could have stepped up and gone to Fox executives and said how we felt about the situation, but nobody really did. So now we're living in a culture where it's more accepted to go and do things like that, whereas I think people were just a little scared." These allegations against Lea first started to come out in 2020 when Samantha Ware, who also played a role in Glee, spoke out against her on Twitter. She expresses how awful Lea made her time on the Glee set, even saying that her microaggressions made her question her whole career in Hollywood. When the tweet went viral, Lea's partnership with the food service HelloFresh decided to end their contract. This tweet ended up inspiring other Glee stars to come forward with their feelings about Lea. Heather wrote on Twitter saying, "Hate is a disease in America that we are trying to cure, but I would never wish for that hate to spread to someone else." With that being said, was she unpleasant to work with? Very much so. For Lea to treat others with disrespect that she did for so long, I believe she should be called out. An extra for the show took this opportunity to come forward as well, saying that Lea referred to her and other extras as cockroaches. She even went as far to tell them not to look at her while the cameras were rolling. Lea has never denied the allegations, but instead wrote an apology on Instagram saying, "While I don't remember ever making this specific statement, that's really not the point. What matters is that I clearly acted in ways which hurt other people. Though I'm sure her fellow co-stars would like a little bit more of an apology, at least it's something." And at number 8, we have Madonna. Known for being an absolute icon in the pop industry, as well as not believing in cancel culture, her dry sense of humor may have gotten her into trouble in the past. Back in 2019, Madonna made an appearance on the Graham Norton show, and there was definitely a few awkward moments. Fans began to criticize the singer for the way she spoke to Sir Ian McKellen, and for the fact that she seemed to forget that they'd already met before. Ian ended up joking that this is why Madonna wasn't invited to his birthday party. Then, near the end, it seems she mocks his title of Sir. Another uncomfortable moment is when Madonna asks, "What do you do?" appearing to not know he's an actor, when she was just asking what he does in his new stage show. Fans did not react well, taking to Twitter to discuss how they felt the interview went. One Twitter user wrote, "The rudeness of Madonna to Sir Ian McKellen is making me so mad." And another wrote, "This show is so cringe. The way Madonna is talking to and looking at Sir Ian McKellen is a disgrace. She's even noticeably sitting away from him. Horrible woman." All in all, I have to say the whole segment is very awkward to watch. Number 7, Ellen DeGeneres. From celebrities, her own staff, and even to guests on her show, Ellen has received a lot of backlash over the past couple of years, with even a Twitter trend calling her one of the meanest people alive. The stories really started to pop off after the comedian Kevin Porter posted on his Twitter saying, "Right now, all we need is a little kindness. You know, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean and I'll match everyone with $2 to the LA Food Bank. This really brought some horrible stories to light, even with some having photographic evidence. One Twitter user wrote, "When I was 15, Ellen was doing a contest of fans making a bust of her and sending it in. I worked so hard on this and even gave her a letter." Weeks later, she used this as a prop in her game and gave it away to a random person with $500 at the bottom. A former staff member even came forward explaining how Ellen told them all how she has a sensitive nose, making everyone chew a piece of gum before ever talking to her, even sending those home she thought smelled bad. With her bad attitude really coming to light, YouTuber Nikki from Nikki Tutorials shared what she experienced was like when coming onto the Ellen show. Without going into too much detail, she said, "Let's just say there's a huge difference between this show and Ellen DeGeneres. I'm saying that in favor of the show." Dakota Johnson, Mark Ruffalo, Jamila Jamil, and many others have since shared their stories, and I have to say, it doesn't look good for Ellen, who is known to preach kindness. Number 6. Katherine Heigl. After being labeled difficult to work with, her career took a bit of a dip. Katherine originally made a big name for herself for her role on the show Grey's Anatomy, but after involving herself in some sticky situations with the network, it seems like she may have just angered the wrong people. Apparently having some strong views on her scripts, the writers weren't happy, calling this an ungrateful slap in the face, as they felt that they were the ones to get her that far in the first place. Grey's Anatomy creator slammed Katherine for her unkind comments, telling in an interview, "In some level it stung, and on some level I was not surprised. When people show you who they are, believe them." Her history of dissing scripts and ideas didn't end there though. Katherine ended up talking to Vanity Fair in 2008 about her movie Knocked Up. She went on to describe it as sexist and bashing on the way the women were presented in the film. When the news came out about how she really felt about her role, her co-star Seth Rogen was disappointed. He told The Hollywood Reporter, "People seemed to like it. We were funny together, I was having a really good time. And then I heard afterward that she didn't like it. I think when that happens, your trust feels somewhat betrayed." After this, more reports seemed to come out of Katherine being a bit of a diva. A source came forward describing how it would be commonplace for her to cost you time every day. From wardrobe issues to questioning the scripts, it sounds like Katherine might just have to have a problem every day. Number 5. Christina Aguilera. Though an incredible singer and with a huge fan base, Christina maybe isn't as nice behind the scenes. With many fans who adore the coach on the show The Voice, there seem to be plenty that just can't stand her. The boy band The Wanted claimed that Christina was very cold to them after they performed on the competition show. One band member told The Hollywood Reporter how scary he thought she was, saying, "She just sat there and didn't speak to us. She was quite rude." After a source came forward saying that nothing negative happened between the boys and Christina, the band ended up apologizing, sort of. They said, "We shouldn't have said it, to be honest with you. We just think manners cost nothing. You know what I mean?" Apparently being rude isn't the only thing she has been reported being, but also aggressive. After collaborating on Lady Marmalade for the Moulin Rouge soundtrack, singer Pink claims that there was a bit of a fight over who would sing the high notes on the track. Pink recalls that this led to Christina trying to punch her in the club. Pink said when talking about the event, "I was like, what is happening right now? What are you doing? What is even happening?" When asked about this, Christina says, "I seem to have a different memory of that night. We were at the club when we played Spin the Bottle, and I have a love memory." Luckily since then, the two seem to have made amends. Number 4. Katy Perry. The pop star who is said to love her fans deeply may have a different relationship with her fellow celebrities. Katy Perry bashed Britney Spears twice for her head-shaving mental breakdown, and fans weren't loving it. In an interview, Katy discusses her new hair and says, "It's the last color in the spectrum that I can do. I've done all of them and the only thing left to do is shave my head, which I'm really saving for my public breakdown." In another interview, when asked about how she is going to be taking a break from music, she says, "That's called taking care of your mental health. It's great. I haven't shaved my head yet." Her attempt at a joke resulted in Katy looking like a mean girl, especially to someone who she even once collabed with in the past. This sparked such backlash that angry fans created the hashtag Katy Perry is over party, which quickly trended on Twitter. One Twitter user wrote, "I lost all my respect for Katy." Well, the little respect I did have for her. Though it appears she has yet to comment, many fear Katy has shown her true, insensitive colors. Number 3. Ariana Grande. According to various news outlets, Ariana Grande can definitely be a diva sometimes, and even to her fans. But on July 4th, 2015, the singer really did something that made her fans wonder if she really just isn't a mean girl after all. Ariana stated, "I hate Americans. I hate America," while in a donut shop in California. She then went on to lick the donuts without buying any of them. Despite public apologies for this extreme behavior, she was still shut out from performing at the White House event. The singer allegedly completely up and left her meet and greet because she wasn't loving how the photos were coming out. A source revealed that when the star went into the elevator, she overheard her wishing her fans at the event would pass away. Pretty bad if true, so I'm just going to hope it's not. And at number 2, we have Adam Levine. Adam Levine hasn't always been the family man we see these days. He also, for a time, wasn't so loved by his fans. A user on social media asked the question, "Who are the biggest jerks in music?" To which one user wrote back saying Adam Levine, claiming the singer has made rude comments about fans and even his current girlfriend at the time. Allegedly, Adam told a fan that he didn't give autographs to ugly chicks. Though this can't be confirmed, many other commenters agreed that it sounds like something he would say. This comes after an interview where Adam claimed that dating a model was one of the perks of being a rock star. The heat on Adam has died down. Since becoming all about his kids, many fans believed he has finally grown up with his ways. And at number 1, we have Tobey Maguire. The Superman star Tobey Maguire has become famous in a different way, and that's how rude he is to his fans. Reportedly, the actor refuses to sign anything for anyone, even children who idolize the Spider-Man star. The Spider-Man star Tobey Maguire has become famous in a different way, and that's how rude he is to his fans. Reportedly, the actor refuses to sign anything for anyone, even children who idolize the Spider-Man legend. Back in 2007, the star allegedly slapped a camera out of a fan's hand who was asking for a photo. Because of his bad rep with signatures, the Autograph Collector magazine has named him the worst signer of the year. I mean, after knowing how much he hates signatures, I think that if I saw Tobey on the street, I would just steer clear.
Starting us off at number 10, we have Kendall Jenner. In an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kendall Jenner got real about people thinking she's a mean girl. During a confessional, she opened up about the misconceptions she's heard about herself. Kendall shared how it's upsetting when someone questions her character, adding that if only people knew her, they would see that she's not mean at all. But things took a turn when Kendall appeared in a TikTok video with her friends Hailey Bieber and Justin Sky. The trio lip-synced to an audio that seemed to throw shade at a certain someone, and viewers called them out for this. This just seemed to fuel the perception that Kendall is a mean girl. As if that wasn't enough, an old video of Kendall belittling Kylie on the show Life of Kylie resurfaced online. In this clip, Kendall can be seen criticizing Kylie's appearance in front of her friends. People took issue with her comments and called her out for her mean behavior. However, this isn't the first time tension between Kendall and Kylie had been captured on their reality shows. Kylie has referred to Kendall as mean before and admitted that they wouldn't be friends if they weren't sisters. So it looks like despite Kendall's efforts to address the mean girl perception, these incidents seem to show otherwise. Yikes. Next at number 9, we have Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is thought by many to be the ultimate diva, and she has a reputation for being a bit mean and demanding. One gem that she's been quoted for is when she straight up said, "I don't do stairs" during a concert rehearsal. Yeah, seriously. It's stories like these that make the public see her as over the top and diva-like. And let's not forget when she claimed she didn't know certain successful artists like J-Lo and Ariana Grande, as if she's been living in her own superstar bubble. But it's not just her outrageous quotes that contribute to her mean reputation. Mariah has been known to treat her staff poorly and act unprofessionally. Apparently, she once demanded 20 whole kittens and 100 white doves for a performance. Who needs that many animals? She also insists on having her own personal lighting team travel with her. Talk about diva demands. There are also stories of her throwing tantrums, showing up late for interviews, and canceling events at last minute. It's no wonder why people think she's difficult to work with. Many fans think that maybe all of that fame has gone to her head. Next at number 8, we have Ellen DeGeneres. Once a beloved talk show host with a global fan base, Ellen DeGeneres saw her reputation crumble when revelations surfaced about her ruthless treatment of employees off camera, painting her as a genuinely mean-spirited person. Ironically, her motto of "be kind" backfired spectacularly as former employees began to step forward, sharing their stories of horror with Ellen. In a BuzzFeed article, she was labeled a bully, accused of creating a toxic work environment by one current and 10 former employees, employees who bravely spoke out anonymously. These individuals confirmed what had previously been mere rumors, shedding light on Ellen's demanding behavior. According to one TV writer, Ellen required anyone who wished to speak with her at work to chew gum from a bowl outside her office, and she would send staff members home to shower if she felt they smelled bad. While the accusations have not impacted her financial status, Ellen's image has been irreparably tarnished, and it's almost impossible to find supporters of her on the internet today. Next at number 7 is Hailey Bieber. When it comes to celebrities being mean in real life, Hailey Bieber's situation takes an interesting twist. It all started with Selena Gomez sharing a TikTok video about her eyebrow lamination gone wrong. She jokingly admitted that her brows didn't turn out as planned when trying to replicate Bella Hadid's iconic look. Then Kylie Jenner jumped in and posted an Instagram story with the text, "This was an accident," overlaying her own eyebrows. But here's the kicker. In the next slide, Jenner shared a close-up pic of Hailey Bieber's brows, seemingly from a FaceTime call where they both showed off their eyebrows. Fans immediately thought they were taking a jab at Selena. Jenner later denied any shade towards Selena, saying fans were blowing things out of proportion. But the eyebrow picture's timing and overall vibe were pretty suspicious to fans. Things have just seemed to have gotten worse from this point, and now it seems Hailey might never be able to shake off the mean girl label. At number 6 is Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence may not be as nice to her fans as one would expect. In a candid conversation with comedian Adam Sandler during Variety's Actors on Actors series in 2017, they discussed how they handle the attention from fans. While Adam described Jennifer as famously approachable, she disagreed and dropped a bombshell. According to her, once she steps into a public place, she becomes incredibly rude, even turning into a huge a-hole, as she puts it in her own colorful language. Jennifer doesn't hesitate to shut down fans who approach her for a selfie, and if you happen to spot her in a restaurant while she's trying to enjoy her meal, don't be surprised if she shoots you a sour look and waves you off, claiming she's not working that day. Now, it's worth mentioning that this info is based on Jennifer Lawrence's own words, and it's possible that she was just shedding light on the challenges of dealing with fame rather than genuinely being mean. But it's understandable that Jennifer has chosen to adopt a guarded and less friendly attitude in public. So if you ever run into Jennifer Lawrence, don't expect a warm and fuzzy interaction. Next, at number 5, we have Lea Michele. Lea Michele, the actress who portrayed the most arrogant character on Glee, is facing a significant backlash as her reputation as one of the meanest celebrities in Hollywood comes to light. Despite Glee contributing to her rise in fame, it appears that her mistreatment of the cast and crew on set has caught up with her. Several individuals, including actress Samantha Ware, have spoken out against Michele's behavior, with Ware recounting instances of the silent treatment, stare downs, looks, comments under her breath, and weird passive aggressiveness she experienced after her first performance. Following Samantha's revelation, numerous co-stars, film crew members, and staff members took to social media to share their own stories about Michele's diva-like behavior. There were even reports suggesting that she only communicated through her assistant and completely ignored the presence of her co-stars. Although Michele issued an apology, her past actions continue to be remembered, and when it was announced that she would replace actress Beanie Feldstein in the Broadway production of Funny Girl, fans expressed their outrage, with some even calling for a boycott. At number 4, we have Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, the host of The Wendy Williams Show for a whopping 14 years, definitely didn't hold back when it came to her on-air antics. Let's just say she didn't need anyone to call her out for being rude, because she did it all on her own. She once downplayed actor Terry Crews's bravery for speaking out about his essay, basically saying it wasn't a big deal since he was a big man. And remember that cringe-worthy moment when she asked young actor Marcus Scribner about his sex life live on the show? Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it, especially with his dad right there on set. Poor Marcus looked uncomfortable and did his best to dodge the question. And let's not forget the time she made fun of Ariana Grande's appearance, claiming that because she's petite, she doesn't look like a woman. While most of us know body shaming is never okay, it's clear that she never hesitated to say whatever mean thoughts popped into her head. And believe me, these examples are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Wendy's mean streak. At number 3, we have Katy Perry. Katy Perry has been a music icon for over a decade now, but her career seems to have gone steeply downhill after she became a judge on American Idol. In fact, Katy recently made a surprising announcement on social media, stating that she wants to quit the popular singing competition show. She expressed concerns about being portrayed as a nasty judge due to the editing done by the show's producers. This decision comes amidst a wave of controversy and scandal surrounding Katy during the current season of American Idol, and it seems like it's all becoming too overwhelming for her. In one notable incident from the recent season, Katy had an interesting reaction when a contestant, Sarah. However, after her audition, Sarah announced her decision to return to California and be with her family, claiming that she wasn't cut out for show business. Later on, Sarah took to TikTok to call Katy out for the joke, which she felt was both mom-shaming and inappropriate. And let's not forget the time she stole a contestant's first kiss. Gross. At number 2, we have Jennifer Lopez. Though there are many instances of J.Lo being accused of being mean, including talking down to her husband Ben Affleck, let's talk about one from back in 2014 first. Back in 2014, Jennifer Lopez had an awkward moment on American Idol when one of her biggest fans, Ronald Reed, broke down in tears after being rejected. Ronald was not only determined to win American Idol, but also had a mission to fight poverty and make the world a better place. Jennifer had to be honest with him and told Ronald that his voice wasn't strong enough. Keith Urban stepped in to soften the blow and reassured Ronald that he was sweet, while Reed desperately searched for his confidence after Jennifer made fun of his lack of melody. And of course, another rumor Jennifer would definitely try to deny is how controlling she has been said to be. Several sources have spoken up about the state of Jennifer and Ben Affleck's marriage, mentioning numerous things that annoy her about him. In addition to his smoking habit, it appears Ben might have a cleanliness problem as well. The source shared Ben doesn't clean up after himself, which irritates Jennifer. The source also criticized Jennifer's approach to nagging her husband, saying she's been known to yell at him and point her finger. It makes people wonder if she mistakes him for a dog. And finally, at number 1, we have Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber has been in the industry since a very young age, and unfortunately, it seems like this might have done some damage to him. From spitting on fans to feuding with neighbors, it seems there are way more negative stories about Justin than positive ones. However, one thing fans recently started to pick up on is Justin being rude to his wife, Hailey. He's been caught on live streams putting her down, and there are even clips of him slamming the car door in her face. One clip shows him leaving her behind in a crowd of paparazzi while he gets away on a skateboard. And that particular clip ends with Hailey falling flat on her face while trying to chase after him. Yikes. Another thing fans noticed was how he didn't defend his wife during her feud with Selena Gomez. So not only does he not seem like the nicest guy, but he might be a bad husband as well.
Number 10, exploited the LGBTQIA+ community. Honestly, I find hate to be a really strong word that I do not like to use lightly. So keep that in mind for this video today. Keep in mind that I am your host and that I really don't like talking about hate. I know hate gets us clicks, but I'm really more focusing on reasons why some celebrities might dislike Perry and where the speculation on their feelings towards her actually comes from. So here's the thing. A lot of people believe that Katy Perry actually used the queer community to boost her sales. And while this may have seemed true at the time, she's actually since come out as being bisexual herself. So considering she's actually kind of part of the queer community now, and songs like I Kissed a Girl may have actually been part of her journey to accepting herself, it seems more than likely that this wasn't really her intention. Or if it was her intention, it also became a part of her. Of course, then there are songs like You're So Gay, which has not aged as well, even with the revelation that Perry is actually part of the queer community. It's just, it's an embarrassing one. Still, some queer artists may even be skeptical of Perry's true intentions, although to be honest, as a bisexual person myself, I know that sometimes there are people who simply see this identity as not being real and as you being exploitative of the queer community anyways, and simply outright lying about your orientation, since to them it's not a real one. So that's also something that we should consider here. I'm not saying that no, I'm not gonna say anymore. I've said enough. And friends, before we move on to our next spot on this list, if you love when we spill the tea, be sure to let us know by clicking that subscribe button. Number 9, legal trouble with nuns. A few years ago, Katy Perry was caught in a legal battle with actual nuns after she attempted to buy the property their convent was on. This is a true story. The nuns wanted to sell the property to a restaurant owner, Diana Hollister, for $15.5 million. But the archdiocese aimed to block the sale, citing that the nuns actually did not have jurisdiction to sell the land. land. Technically, any sale of the land as well would require the Vatican's approval. Instead, a legal battle ensued between the parties, with Hollister even being made to pay out $10 million in damages to the Archdiocese of LA and Katy Perry. During the legal battle, one of the two nuns who were continuing their fight to not have the property sold to Perry collapsed in court and actually died. So you can see why some people blame Katy Perry for this, although really it seems like it's actually a bit more complicated in regards to who actually has the right to sell the land here and who's really at fault. Also, I believe both of the nuns were quite old, so it's possible, you just collapse and you die sometimes. That's life. That's sad, but it's true. Number 8. Choosing sides. When Pink was interviewed on the London radio station Kiss FM, she was asked to choose a side between Katy Perry or Taylor Swift in regards to their long-standing ongoing feud. Well, Pink certainly did nothing to blast Katy Perry. She did end up choosing Swift's side of the argument, although she also acknowledged that no matter what you say when asked a question like that, there's really no right answer. Going on to add, everyone wakes up offended, which is definitely true. To be honest, I agree with Pink there. And to be honest, if I were Pink, I'd kind of be wondering why I was being even asked this question, since the beef between Perry and Swift really has nothing to do with Pink. Number 7. Easily offended. Although Chrissy Teigen likely wouldn't describe herself as a hater, Katy Perry for a brief moment kinda thought she was, due to a misunderstanding. After performing Firework at President Joe Biden's inauguration, Chrissy ended up saying to Katy when she ran into her that although she doesn't normally like fireworks, she loved her performance. Perry misunderstood Chrissy, John Legend's wife, well, seeming to think that she had said that she hated Firework normally, as in Katy's song. Chrissy Teigen, however, was full on taking the blame for this awkward interaction, saying that she always gets nervous around celebrities and often stumbles on her words, embarrassing herself, and attributed this brief moment of tension to just that. A moment when she said something and was like, dang, maybe I should have not said that way. Number 6. Tries too hard. Some feel that Katy Perry simply tries too hard to sell herself and that she simply is not authentic. However, I find this hard to comment on myself since, I really don't know Katy Perry. I've never met her. I will say I think a lot of celebrities are judged in this way, being labeled as people who try too hard or are inauthentic, when really trying too hard is likely how they got to where they are, and being inauthentic is usually a label put on them by others who either just simply don't like them but don't want to admit that they just don't like them, or who struggle with their own sense of authenticity themselves, or feeling themselves authentic. I think we're all pretty authentic for the most part, but I think it's hard to feel that way in life. So yeah. Number 5. Fake. According to Perez Hilton, Lady Gaga once labeled Katy Perry as fake. Of course, keep in mind, this is Perez we're talking about. Still, he swore that at one point in time, when Katy was at the height of her fame, that Gaga was jealous of Katy's success because she found her to be hypocritical. Katy Perry was loved by the press and fans for her good girl image a while back, which bothered Gaga because she knew about Perry's bad behavior. At least, that's the old story according to Perez, who said that he doesn't think Gaga still hates Perry, just swore that at one time, she definitely did. Number 4. Airs the drama. Some like people who call it like they see it and are open with their fans. Others think it's better to keep beef between the folks who actually know what happened and to not air any of it. Some may not like Katy Perry because she completely opened up about her feud with Taylor Swift on James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, back when that was a thing. However, the feud is over now, so really it all ended up being okay in the end, but the fact that I will even say that Katy called out Taylor for starting the feud and thereby saying she needs to end it likely rubs celebrity fans of Taylor, and Taylor herself possibly, the wrong way. Which yeah, it's a little extreme I think to be like, she started it, she should end it. That's a lot. Number 3. Last minute changes. Well, once again, hate is a pretty strong word here, especially since I'm pretty sure this is some super old beef. There was a time when Calvin Harris and Katy Perry did not get along. This was because Calvin Harris chose to cancel his appearance during Perry's California Dreams tour. Of course, as I said, this is some old drama because it happened way back in 2011. I don't even remember what was happening in 2011, it was a totally different time. Still, it seems pretty reasonable, this beef between the two. Harris canceled due to the fact that Katy Perry's team had seemingly made last-minute changes to the production or staging, and it basically left him with no choice but to cancel, according to him. While more frustrated with her team than her, Katy Perry seemed to take the tweet explaining why he was dropping out quite personally. She fired back that everyone else was able to adjust, and went on to say that it was fine that he was canceling. At this point, she'd gotten quite used to it. However, since then, they've moved on and have even collaborated together, so I doubt Calvin Harris has issues with Perry today. I think they've moved past it. I mean, it was 2011. You know, some things were said, but we can all move forward. Number 2, stole dancers. This is a famous one. This is the one that apparently started the beef between Taylor Swift and Katy Perry. I mean, you can't really steal dancers away though if they willingly choose to join someone else's tour. But some people believe that Taylor Swift has it out for Katy Perry, or had it out for Katy Perry, because of just this. Apparently, Katy Perry's dancers decided to audition for Taylor Swift, who was about to go on her tour following Perry's California Dreams tour, which had just come to a close. However, when Katy Perry had them called up to see if they wanted to later join her again on her tour to celebrate the release of her new album Prism, they were all too excited to accept the offer, preferring performing alongside Katy Perry to Taylor Swift. What we didn't really know for sure at the time, some believed that this actually caused a huge rift between the two pop superstars, with Taylor Swift even calling Katy Perry out for poaching her dancers, and even suggesting that Perry was trying to sabotage her by doing so. Now granted, Taylor was usually very careful to not mention any names, but it was a very specific thing she was talking about, and we knew what had happened between them at that point, so we kinda knew. In reality though, this is kinda how the business works, and while working for Taylor Swift sounds like it would be honestly amazing, sometimes a better offer just comes along in terms of pay or your preference as a performer, and you have to follow your instincts and take it. Though granted, it is kind of awful when you're already on tour with someone to leave them to go somewhere else. That kind of sucks, but it can happen. It's life. Number 1, actually kissing Miley Cyrus. The name of this point is not really enough to fully explain what's happening here, so allow me to elaborate and give you the whole story. Initially, people thought Katy Perry's song I Kissed a Girl might actually be about Miley Cyrus, which I found out literally while I was writing this, and it shocked me. This is because Miley has said herself that Katy told her the song was about her when she asked her. However, this is controversial because Katy was friends with Miley back in her Hannah Montana days. Katy is also 8 years older than Miley Cyrus. However, Katy Perry herself has contradicted this story, as she actually claimed the song was about Scarlett Johansson, who I don't believe she's actually ever kissed, but whose appearance in a magazine inspired Katy to write the song, as she felt an attraction towards Johansson. Which, to be fair, I feel that. I understand. Scarlett Johansson is fire. Anyways, flash forward to years later when Miley was on her Bangers tour. During a performance in LA, Katy Perry scored front row seats, and Miley, spotting Katy, came over and kissed her. However, she then proceeded to slip Katy some tongue, which Katy was definitely not here for, with her reacting quite dramatically and turning away from Miley. When interviewed about the experience, Katy said that she turned away because of the tongue slip, going to basically say that Miley's tongue was so famous she didn't want to think about all the places it had been, and it was like a turnoff for her. Taking to Twitter, Miley herself retorted by saying that Katy actually shouldn't be so concerned, considering she dated John Mayer, who's been, well, just about everywhere. Oh boy. Honestly, that is some pretty spicy tea, I gotta say. Yikes.
In its end, Super Bowl 2020. In her, I guess, kind of somewhat recently released documentary of Halftime, J-Lo expressed her unfiltered opinion about sharing the stage and being limited to only 12 minutes of performance time alongside Shakira during the 2020 Super Bowl halftime show, labeling it as, quote, the worst idea in the world. One scene captured her frustration as she argued that if they were going to be billed as double headliners, they deserved a longer slot of 20 minutes instead. However, following her remarks, some fans criticized the artist, labeling her as entitled for her negative comments. J-Lo's candid remarks in the documentary showcased just interesting perspectives, especially since she was mad that she had to share the stage with Shakira. Hey, look, I'm sorry J-Lo, but only one of you has been on Wizards of Waverly Place, okay? And it wasn't you. So I think that I know who I'm preferring here, alright? Gotta love the uncle from Wizards of Waverly Place because it was established in that show's lore that he is Shakira. Yep, that's what I'm going with. In a 9 Fiat. Back in 2011, Jennifer Lopez participated in a Fiat commercial, or as my family calls it, FERT. We say that as a joke, okay, relax. Aiming to showcase her Bronx roots and how they influenced her. However, it was revealed that J-Lo didn't actually want to go to her hometown for the shoot. Yeah, surprisingly, a lookalike was employed to fulfill the actual physical aspects of the ad while she was driving through the Bronx, while the ad was supposedly supposed to capture the singer's life story. Yeah, she was only in it for the close-ups, the rest wasn't her. This revelation exposed the behind the scenes that's involved in creating the commercial, but still, okay, a doppelganger took on the role that was supposed to be Jennifer's upbringing in her life in the Bronx, and they just didn't, because she refused to come back. It raised questions about authenticity of celebrity endorsements, but I mean, at this point, we all know that they're probably all fake. Come on. Alright, the lengths that companies will go to is kind of nuts, and you know what, she was probably still paid the full amount. And it ate Pepper Potts! During her notable interview with Movie Line in 1998, the renowned singer of On the Floor didn't hold back in throwing shade at numerous Hollywood figures, including a certain Iron Man actress. Jennifer Lopez bluntly questioned the actress's filmography, stating, quote, "Tell me what she's been in, I swear to God I don't remember anything she was in." I mean, Iron Man hadn't come out at the time, but still, okay? Lopez further expressed her perception that some individuals achieve fame through associations rather than their own body of work, mentioning that she had heard more about the actress's personal life with Brad Pitt than her actual professional accomplishments. The unfiltered critique showcased just a lot about her personality. I mean, people didn't really care at the time because no one really knew who Pepper Potts was, but I mean, I'm also calling her Pepper Potts and not Gwyneth Paltrow. Still, you don't do that on TV. Come on. At least have a modicum of professionalism. In its 7 hotel demands. During her stay at London's prestigious Dorchester Hotel in 2007, that's how I'm gonna say it, if I said it wrong, oh well, Jennifer Lopez reportedly made extravagant requests seeking a suite befitting royalty. According to a source, she insisted on having her favorite brand of candles, roses, freshly baked cookies, and plain M&Ms. Apparently, I don't know why that's a random one, but okay. Additionally, it is said that Jennifer requested all white couches, candles, and just specific food items for her on-tour riders as well. These demands were people say, oh, she's she has attention for detail, but come on, bro, you have a reputation for indulging in lavish lifestyle. This is not a good thing. I get that you're famous, but that doesn't mean that you deserve that. In its 6 lying accusations, Lopez made it clear that she didn't appreciate the comparisons to Salma Hayek, emphasizing that they operate in distinct artist domains, according to Lopez. As she said, Hayek's repertoire primarily revolves around portraying seductive bombshell characters, while she herself embraces a broader range of roles. Lopez found amusement in Hayek's claim of being offered the lead in Selena, dismissing it as just blatant falsehood. She accused her of lying about being offered a role. She attributed the statements to just her quest for publicity, acknowledging that everyone has their own methods for garnering attention. By expressing her views, though, Lopez showed us her methods of garnering attention. Yeah, that's right, I'm throwing it right back at you. You don't care, you're not gonna watch this. I don't know, maybe I'll end up in a BuzzFeed article. Random white dude slams J-Lo. I doubt BuzzFeed cares. Top 10 times J-Lo was the worst? I say that as a joke, but that's also literally this channel. And at number 5, PA who? Reports suggest that when flying first class, Jennifer Lopez is known for her selective communication. United Airlines attendants shared an incident where he offered her a drink during a flight, only to be met with silence from her instead. She instructed her personal assistant to relay her request, saying, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke and lime," even though he was literally right there. The incident aligns with previous accounts indicating that Jennifer prefers to communicate indirectly with service personnel, opting to relay her requests through her assistants. I mean, while it's not uncommon for public figures to utilize intermediaries in communication. He was right behind you, okay? This behavior is just, it's not nice. And it's apparently been observed consistently with Jennifer Lopez. How pretentious can you be? That's one of the words that I was thinking of. The other ones I can't really say on YouTube, but you know what I mean, alright? You get it. And at 4, dragged Madonna. In that interview with Movieline, the star of Hustlers also openly expressed her views on the Queen of Pop, acknowledging her as a remarkable performer, but not considering her a great actress. She said, as someone who was deeply committed to their craft, the star holds higher standards when it comes to acting and becomes more critical when others claim that they can easily do so, with a protective stance towards their profession. I've seen this before. It's not good. It's not cute. It's not a good look, okay? Like, sure, you can emphasize the importance of respecting acting and like discouraging belittling it, but you're also dismissing someone who's doing the same thing you are and actively belittling them. So your argument kind of shoots itself in the foot with a Nerf gun, YouTube, okay? I'm being safe there. I don't care for Jennifer Lopez, but now I just don't like her. I didn't think I could care less, but apparently I could. Getting close to the end in number 3, J-Rod trauma. J-Rod, the sizzling celebrity duo composed of Jennifer and Alex Rodriguez, had captivated the public, but they were just a glamorous facade, okay? There are actually rumors that Alex is scared of Jennifer. It's said that Jennifer presented him with a set of guidelines that he had to adhere to in order to maintain their relationship, which, I mean, like, setting boundaries is normal. If you're having to call them guidelines or they're being described as guidelines, that sounds more like a contract to me, and I don't even care about 5 shades of gray, let alone 50. So according to an insider from Radar Online, Alex was prohibited from socializing with women under 40. He was expected to devote a specific amount of time each week to Jennifer, and specific instructions were given regarding his positioning when they attended red carpet events together. Yeah. Look, I've had crappy relationships, but at least I didn't have this. Actually, I might have preferred this, because at least being scared of someone is worse than having to go through months and months and months of therapy. But that's aside the point. Moving on. But ultimately, in at number 2, Winona Ryder. During the same interview as the one above talking about Pepper Potts, the celebrity also made another casual remark, stating that she was never particularly fond of Winona Ryder. Despite the latter's back-to-back Academy Award nominations in the 1990s, the superstar, while acknowledging Ryder's revered status in Hollywood and her accolades, expressed her personal observation that she had never encountered widespread public or personal admiration for the actress, saying, quote, "I've never heard anyone in the public or among my friends say, 'Oh, I love her.'" This offhand comment offered a glimpse into the superstar's perspective on Ryder's popularity and revealed her own personal opinion on the matter. The statement ignited further discussion and analysis within the public sphere as fans and critics examined the contrasting views of 2 prominent figures in the entertainment industry, but like still, again, you don't just shit talk other professional actors on TV in an interview. Like, I get that it was the 90s, but still, it's still stupid. And look, I'm talking about it now, 23 years later. So there you go. And finally, in at number 1, Ice Cube Boy. This is my favorite number by far because it is the most ridiculous thing. Like, sure, the other ones are just messed up, but this is stupid. During the production of her 2002 music video, Jenny from the Block, Jennifer Lopez aimed for perfection in every detail. According to reports, she went to great lengths to ensure that her appearance was flawless by hiring a stylist whose specific task was to maintain the perkiness of her nipples. Not even kidding. With his own tray of ice cubes. This individual was dedicated to manually keeping the nipples just solid throughout the shoot. What the actual fuck? This behind the scenes revelation showcases just how stupid some of these videos can be, okay? Like, sure, it's funny and like the anecdote is just insane and offers a glimpse into extraordinary measures, but
Come on. Dude, imagine having to put this on your resume. Imagine walking out of that shoot and being like, Jennifer Lopez nipple tweaker. That's on your resume now.
Number 10, we have Jared Leto. Jared Leto came out kinda hot when he suggested that Jennifer was maybe not as genuine as she wants to come off as. Jennifer has an iconic moment when she took to the stage at the Oscars back in 2013 when she won Best Actress. She was climbing the stairs to get on stage when she took a bit of a stumble, catching herself with her hands. Ellen DeGeneres was reportedly miming behind her back, saying, "Why are you laughing? What, is this funny? I'm still watching you." When Jared recalled seeing this, he shared in an interview, but what Jennifer didn't know was that Ellen was on the side saying, "Don't fall, don't fall." And my mom and brother were all cracking up. Jared then joked saying, "I guess we don't have manners. You can take them out of Louisiana, but you can't take the Louisiana out of them, right?" But after being asked about Jennifer's earlier stumble on the red carpet the same evening, Jared seemed to think that maybe the charm was lost a bit. He said, "You know, I'm starting to wonder if this is a bit of an act. It seems like fans seem to agree with Jared, which is unfortunate for the actress." One social media user wrote, "One reason for Lawrence's rise to popularity was her relatability. She snacks all the time, she loves pizza, she's awkward, she's just like us." They continued by adding, "Personally, I think someone with such a spotlight on them should be more professional, but that's just me." Number 9, the Lohans. Looking to all stem from a casual comment made by Jennifer in an interview really was the start of a feud between the stars. Jennifer was discussing on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert how she works herself into exhaustion. She said, "I'm a puker. I don't stop working because I'm a show pony. I don't have a choice. So I just keep going until my body is like, if we don't make her barf or pass out, she won't stop." She went on to say, "I get like Lindsay Lohan grade exhaustion, but without the narcotics and alcohol. I'm always in bed early, and I'm still tired." Though it seemed to be in a joking manner, the Lohan family saw this as a really low blow. Lindsay's little sister took to Twitter after this comment was made and tweeted, "I never breathe life into negativity, but I stand by my family. Disappointed in Jennifer Lawrence, you lost a fan." Lindsay responded to this tweet by commenting, "Thank you, sister. Maybe who you're referring to should learn to support others like Maya Angelou." She continued on by quoting Maya and adding, "You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise." Even Dina Lohan, Lindsay's mom, fired back at Jennifer. In a statement to Entertainment Tonight, she said, "We've always been fans of her. It was all unfortunate that she used Lindsay as a reference for not showing up to set, and that whole bit. It was disappointing that she didn't have her peers back. You shouldn't trash anyone. It was just surprising." And adding at the end, "My family sticks together." Number 8, Chloe Sevigny. An actress who has been pretty vocal about her dislike for Jennifer is Chloe Sevigny. Regarded as an indie film icon, Chloe wasn't shy to voice her opinion on personalities that are marketable, such as Jennifer's. During an interview with V Magazine in 2015, she was asked if she ever had worries of being typecast for future roles. After admitting that of course she does, she went on to say, "So much is about marketing and selling the product. They'll have a really funny girl on a talk show rounds and everyone adores her, loves her, and wants to F her. But then so many more people want to watch the movie or show." She later explained the actresses who she really looks up to, naming Emma Stone and Angelina Jolie. But she revealed to the interviewer her true feelings about Jennifer, saying, "Jennifer Lawrence I find annoying. Too crass." Jennifer has never commented on these comments, but I can imagine these two aren't going to be too close after that. Number 7, Spencer Pratt. Many people wouldn't necessarily put Spencer Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence in the same sentence, but Spencer, the former Hill star, opened up about how he truly felt about the Hunger Games celebrity. He shared in an interview his feud with Jennifer, explaining why he feels personally victimized by her. In an episode of The Morning Breath, which is a Facebook Live series, Spencer spoke to Claudia and Jackie O'Shea. It seems Spencer had some things to say about Jennifer's cover story interview, where she slams her fellow celebrities for being into crystals. In a cover story Jen shared, "When I first moved in, the house was crystallized out, crystals everywhere, and I was like, please get rid of these. I don't want people to come over and think I'm a crystal person." She finished by admitting her hate for crystals. Spencer of course didn't love this, as he is considered a poster child for celebrities who love crystals. He has also shared previously how his love of crystals formed in 2010 and has admitted that to this day he still carries his 5 main crystals at all time, sharing that he holds on to amethyst, black tourmaline, moldavite, a small meteor, and Shiva linum stone. He then said to Claudia and Jackie, "She was talking about me in Vogue, like 100%. I'm the crazy crystal person, she's clowning. So I'll see her and we'll bump into each other at the Beverly Hills Hotel like I see all the A-listers, and they'll run from me." He also added that because of Jen's comments, she is at the top of his beef radar. Fans were upset that if this was true that her comments were aimed at Spencer, it would be pretty disappointing, considering she has shared in the past how much she loves reality TV, especially The Hills. Number 6. Jennifer Lopez. Lopez made an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon back in May 2014 and shared a story to her audience which involved herself, Jimmy, and the iconic J-Lo. She recalled the party energy which took place at the Met Gala. She said, "We both saw J-Lo and this was about 10 Jell-O shots in. I've never done Jell-O shots and I didn't go to college." She then continued by saying, "So we were dancing and we saw J-Lo and we were like, well, we have to ask J-Lo to dance. We'll do a spin and we'll go dance with us." Jennifer then claimed that she went ahead with the plan without knowing that Jimmy had chickened out. Jennifer shared, "I go to do it and then I look and he's gone. And it's just J-Lo looking at me and I say, 'Dance with me.' She was then like, 'No, I think I'm just going to observe.'" J-Lo later admitted that it was just a bit too crowded to dance and claimed that she would have loved to. Regardless if she didn't mean it, the public dance floor snub did seem to embarrass Jennifer Lawrence regardless. Number 5. Kim Kardashian. Jen has been pretty open about her reality TV obsession for some time and has always expressed love for the whole Kardashian family. But it seems like Kris may be one of the only ones in the family that has a mutual feeling for the actress. Jen first met Kris in 2015 when the star's friend looked to Kris to help surprise Jen with a birthday cake. The two seemed to really hit it off, which resulted in Jen getting an invite to the family dinner. When Kim recalled this on Jimmy Kimmel Live, she shared, "Jennifer came over to dinner for 2 weeks ago. I've never seen my mom more drunk in our lives. It was so funny." Kris even expressed her love for the star when she appeared on Access Hollywood. She said, "Jennifer is so beautiful. She is such a good friend and I'm so proud of her. She is like one of my kids and I'm so blessed to have her in my life." But it looks like not everyone is Jennifer's biggest fan. It seems Kim Kardashian had really had enough of all the love and attention that Jennifer was receiving. She reportedly went into a jealous rage over the close relationship her mom has with the star. An unnamed source shared in 2017, Kim was always Kris's favorite until Jennifer crashed the scene. She's waltzing into the family's world acting like a superstar and upsetting the order with loud chaos. The source went on to add, "Kris said she's a hoot and treats her like a blonde daughter that she's never had. Kim is dreading Jennifer stealing the show. The sunshine walks with Jennifer in Kris's eyes, and Kim is fed up and she doesn't know what to do." Jennifer seemed to be slightly aware of the jealousy coming from Kim though. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel, she hinted that the two aren't necessarily close. She said, "I don't know if she'd call me her friend. It's probably a one-sided friendship." Number 4. Lala Kent. Lala, the Vanderpump Rules star, definitely had some feelings toward Jennifer and her comments that she wasn't afraid to share them on Twitter. If you're a Vanderpump Rules fan, you'll know that Lala rarely backs down from a fight, and this of course was no exception. The problems between the two looked to initially start when Jennifer, the self-proclaimed Vanderpump Rules superfan, made an appearance on Watch What Happens Live back in 2018. She made some pretty extreme comments when sharing her opinion on a recent episode and her feelings on Lala Kent. She said, "I'm like B, you are a C, if you know what I mean." Of course, the Vanderpump Rules star was pretty angry about this and wrote in a since deleted tweet, "B, you better pray I don't see you in the streets. You claim you're a pro-woman and then you call another woman a C. You're gross." When asked about her reaction during an interview with SiriusXM, she shared, "No one wants to be called the C word, especially by an A-list celebrity on national TV." She then added, "I was such a huge fan of hers, and it really bummed me out. I thought that she had a little bit more class than that, and congrats on the 2 bombed movies in a row." She even went on to further diss Jen during an interview with The Juicy Scoop, saying that the star was pudgy. She said, "I think we've come to the conclusion that she sucks. Not anytime you bring her up, I'm going to have nothing good to say about her. I'm going to say that her hair sucks and her face is a little too pudgy." This received quite a bit of backlash from Jennifer's fans, which pushed Lala to come up with an apology on Twitter, even claiming that her and Jen are very good now. But many find that hard to believe. Number 3. Miley Cyrus. Another feud that seems to stem from jealousy is that between Jennifer and Miley Cyrus. Miley and Liam Hemsworth called off their engagement only to rekindle their romance 3 years later. A source close to the celebrities claims that this is all Jennifer Lawrence is doing. Maybe not so much the star herself, but Miley's alleged jealousy over the close relationship between the actress and Liam. The insider said at the time, when Miley realized there might be something serious between Jennifer and Liam, she decided to do something to get him back, adding, Miley wanted to do everything in her power to make him realize that she was right for him, not Jennifer. Many believe that this fit of jealousy could be a result of Jennifer's interview with Andy Cohen back in 2015. Andy asked the star, "Have you two ever kissed when the cameras weren't rolling?" To which Jennifer responded by saying, "Liam and I grew up together. Liam's really hot. What would you have done?" "Yeah, I have." Looks like the two are good now after a few compliments went out on Twitter on Miley's part expressing her love for Jennifer's hair, but who's to really say for sure? Number 2, Anderson Cooper. The CNN correspondent and journalist Anderson Cooper found himself in a bit of a feud with the star after sharing his personal opinions on Jennifer. Days after Jennifer won the Academy Award for Best Actress in 2013, what really went all over the news was her stumble on the stairs when she went to receive it. Speculators began voicing their opinions that the trip was fake, and Anderson Cooper looked to be in agreement. Anderson shared on CNN his speculation that the fall was fake, which Jennifer did see. She shared in a podcast saying, "Anderson Cooper, I saw him on CNN 3 days later saying, well, she obviously faked the fall. It was so devastating because it was a horrific humiliation for me. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to give a speech like that again." She claimed she was so annoyed by Anderson's statement that she walked up to him at a Christmas party. She recalled the event and said, "My friend told me that a vein was bulging out of my eyes. He apologized and I think we're good friends now. In the end, we're all good." But could this just be another one-sided friendship like her relationship with Kim Kardashian? And finally, at number 1, we have Donald Trump Jr. During a Q&A session with Oprah Winfrey on The Hollywood Reporter, they discussed her stance on the fight for equality. This led to Oprah's next question, where she asked the star, "Have you ever met Trump?" Jen answered, "No, never." Oprah then pushed further and asked, "Do you want to?" Jennifer was quick to explain that what a meeting would look like and said, "I think so. I've got a pretty good speech." And it ends with a martini to the face. "I have something to say to all of them." She followed this by saying, "You just wait." Looks like Donald Trump Jr. saw this interview and wanted to share his opinion. He took to Twitter and shared a link to the article, writing alongside it, "I'm pretty sure that's not how it would end," which is a little ominous, I would say. Number 10, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and Hailey Bieber didn't really have any bad blood between them until recently. The social media drama happened when a video resurfaced on social media showing Hailey and the rapper Method Man during an episode of Drop the Mic. In the clip, Hailey was seen rolling her eyes and sticking her tongue out when Method Man said, "Hollywood's top stars face off in a one-on-one battle," full of the meanest lyrics about celebrities since Taylor Swift's last album. The video even made it to Selena Gomez's For You page, unfortunately for Hailey. Selena quickly came to defend her friend Taylor and commented, "So sorry, my best friend is and continues to be one of the best in the game." This left fans wondering if maybe there was more to the drama that happened before this that led to her gagging over Taylor. Though the two were never necessarily close, it doesn't seem like there was any hatred beforehand. Hailey even shared her positive feedback online about the film Cats, which Taylor starred in, saying, "My Christmas gift from the universe is the release of the Cats movie." Rumors have also been surfacing as to if this could be an extension of the feud between Taylor and Justin Bieber, not only from the history between Justin and her best friend Selena, but also because of his close relationship with his manager, Scooter Braun, who is also the man that bought all of her music catalog and who she claims bullied her alongside Justin. Not only that, but Hailey has also liked a screenshot of Taylor with the caption, "Would you smack her for $835 billion?" Someone responded, "I'd smack her for a sweet tea from McDonald's," which she did like. Though Taylor has never publicly said anything bad about Hailey, many assume it is pretty tense between the two, considering the pretty public shade. Number 9, Rhode. Hailey Bieber found herself in some pretty hot water after being sued by a brand which accused her of trying to buy their name Rhode from them 4 years ago. When the model launched her skincare brand, she named it Rhode, which is the name of the fashion brand, resulting in her getting hit with a trademark infringement lawsuit. The owners of Rhode fashion line came out with a statement saying, "Today we were forced to file a lawsuit against Hailey Bieber and her new skincare line, which was launched last week and that is using the brand Rhode." They went on to say, "We didn't want to file this lawsuit, but we had to in order to protect our business." Even though the founders stressed how much they loved Hailey and wished her only success, they were upset that she chose this name out of all other choices that she could have had. They went on to say, "Hailey could choose any brand for her skincare line. We only have the brand name Rhode that we've built. That's why we didn't sell out our brand when she asked for it 4 years ago." The 9-year-old Rhode fashion was nervous about the confusion on the market, and when asked why they decided to go through with the lawsuit, they revealed, "We have real concerns for the future. It's disappointing to me that a female entrepreneur of whom we've been fans of for a long time is trying to smother what we've built." It was revealed though that Hailey owns the trademark for skincare and they hold it for fashion, so it looks like she's in the clear. clear. But it definitely is a bit of a shady move to use the name even though they refused to sell it in the first place. Number 8. The TikToker. Another shady moment happened when a TikToker encountered Hailey while working a shift as a host in an upscale restaurant. In a video that now went viral, the TikToker explains what it was like to meet Hailey, and it's not great. She claimed Hailey was rude, saying, "This is going to be controversial. I've met Hailey a handful of times and every time she was not nice. I really want to like her, but I have to give her a 3.5 out of 10. Hailey, who is known to be a big TikTok lover, saw the video and quickly commented back. She wrote, "I just came across this video and wanted to say I'm so sorry if I've ever given you bad vibes or a bad attitude. That was never my intention." Julia appeared to accept the apology, calling her the accountability queen. Later, Hailey even explained just about how this video made her feel, saying, "When I saw her video, I was so upset. There's never an excuse for being rude. I felt bad that this was her experience with me, and it made me kind of frustrated because you never know what someone's going through." Fans seem to accept this apology, with many collectively writing, "At least she said sorry." Number 7. Shawn Mendes. Shawn and Hailey had a brief relationship right before marrying Justin Bieber. The whole thing seems a little bit shady, with some fans asking if she was just waiting for Justin to be single again, or if the fling was just a publicity stunt. Shawn more or less has admitted that they were involved in the past, but they both refused to put a label on their past relationship. Shawn said in an interview with Rolling Stone, "I don't even want to put a title on it. I think it was more of a zone of limbo." After being seen holding hands during Halloween and then cuddling over the holidays, it seems like they were keeping things pretty casual due to the distance. The two ended up being each other's date to the Met Gala in May, but by June, Hailey was back with Justin and engaged just a month later. At the time, Shawn claimed that he wasn't bitter, saying to Patrick Doyle from the Rolling Stone, "I get it, you know, and I'm happy for them. But could this whole thing just be a PR move?" Considering how fast it was and how quickly she married Justin, makes fans believe it absolutely was. But if it wasn't, it was still a pretty quick timeline from being spotted with Shawn to being full-on married to Justin. Number 6. Justin Bieber. Hailey and Justin have been married for a few years now, but that doesn't save him from being shaded. Hailey has been pretty open about the difficulties of marriage and explains that he hasn't always been the easiest partner, especially in the beginning. During an episode of In Good Faith, the podcast, Hailey revealed how it was her mom who persuaded her to stay with Justin, which I'm sure would be awkward to hear as her husband. She shared at the time saying, "I remember I called her a few different times. One particular time when we were in Brooklyn and I was calling her, I was crying, and I was like, I can't do it. There's no way that I'm going to be able to do this if it's going to be like this forever." She went on to say when discussing her mom's response, she was so calm and she was like, "It's going to pass and you're going to be fine. He's going to be healthy." A few fans on Twitter have begun accusing Justin and Hailey of having a sort of mother and son relationship, where Hailey cares for Justin at times, kind of like a mother. The recent time that really got TikTok and Twitter users talking was a clip that emerged of Hailey comforting Justin at this year's Coachella. Though many thought the moment was sweet, others were thinking that Justin was getting upset and didn't want to be there, and that maybe Hailey liked to be a little bit like a caregiver. Maybe not so bluntly shady, but if intentional, could this be a way of her putting him down to make herself look better? This one is tough though. What do you guys think? Number 5. The store model. In the midst of the drama with Selena that took over every social media platform, more videos started emerging of Hailey's supposed mean girl side. One video in particular popped up showing Hailey when she was younger, shaming a model while in a clothing store with her friend. The video shows her pointing at the photo of the model and saying, "This girl thinks she's cool, but because she's not mad, right? But little did she know, did you punch someone?" Going on to say, "Do you have the proper makeup, people, because you have lipstick on your teeth? And this ad is in a store. No way." The video was uploaded by an account called Cancel Hailey Bieber. They captioned the video with, "I thought Hailey supported women though." This led many TikTok users to label Hailey as crazy, with one user writing, "Oh my god, another one to my collection. She's crazy." Others have also been trying to figure out who the model is, with some speculating that it could be Selena, or that she did this because she thought the woman looked like Selena. When the video made its way to Twitter, one user wrote, "She's so ugly inside and out." Another added, "Can we cancel Hailey Bieber yet?" Number 4. The high school bully. Though the alleged victim isn't necessarily a celebrity, they have gained a lot of attention online lately for claiming that Hailey was their high school bully. A TikTok user named Kimona Elizabeth posted on her account that reveals Hailey was their bully while they were in high school together. She did receive many rude comments that she was lying or looking for attention during the height of the Hailey drama, but she did seem pretty serious when she defended her claims in another video. Though this hasn't been confirmed or denied completely yet, the rumor is out there and it's not a good look. Number 3. Nepotism. During an episode on Hailey Bieber's YouTube series, Who's in My Bathroom, Gwyneth shared her opinions on the struggles of being a nepotism baby. She did acknowledge that people with famous parents do have it better in the industry, but also claims that these people will have to work twice as hard hard as the people with no connections. She said, "I really do feel that once your foot is in the door, which you unfairly got in, then you have to work twice as hard and be twice as good because people are already ready to pull you down. And you say you don't belong here or you're only here because of your mom or dad." This is something that Hailey seemed to agree with, which is a bit of a slap in the face to other celebrities who had zero help at all with getting to where they are today. One viewer commented, "Gwyneth saying you need to work twice as hard as a Nepo kid isn't true. The people without connections have to work 10 times as hard, not even twice as hard." Another added, "Oh, give me a break with the twice as hard bit. If you're fortunate enough to be born with that Wonka golden ticket, that's fine." Going on to say, "Just accept the gift and enjoy the huge head start." Number 2, the model agency. Hailey Bieber reportedly was pretty shady towards a fellow model from her agency. The model came forward on TikTok describing the time she had when both Hailey and her were signed to the same modeling agency as teenagers. She recalls by saying, "She was so cold to me, she treated me like trash. It was just the vibe she gave off. She really thought she was better than everyone in the room. And I'm like, girl, we're both signed to the same agency." She went on to say, "I don't believe that celebrities owe anybody anything, but you know, it's one of those moments where you shouldn't meet up with the people you look up to or who you idolize." And at number 1, of course, we have Selena Gomez. Definitely the biggest shady moment was, of course, towards Selena. Ever since Justin and Hailey's marriage in 2018, the media has pitted these two against each other, which they have both attempted to shut down until recently with the eyebrow drama. In a now deleted post, Selena posted a video on TikTok sharing that she laminated her eyebrows a little bit too much. Within a few hours, Kylie Jenner posted a selfie on her Instagram story with the caption, "This was an accident." Clearly, fans in the media were convinced she was throwing shade at Selena, considering the text was placed right over her eyebrows. She then went on to post a screenshot of a FaceTime between her and Hailey, which was zoomed in on both their eyebrows. This spiraled all over social media, with most fans coming to the support of Selena. With the backlash Hailey was receiving from Selena fans, she actually turned to the star to help her out with the outrage. Selena spoke out in her defense, essentially telling her fans to leave Hailey alone. Hailey then came out with a statement on her Instagram which said, "I want to thank Selena for speaking out, as she and I have been discussing the last few weeks to move past this ongoing narrative between her and I." Another situation that many fans believe was shady of Hailey was the idea that she and Selena were both with Justin at the same time without Selena knowing it. Hailey has always denied it, but the timeline is definitely close. She has admitted that she is aware of how it looks and the timing of things, but has insisted that she waited. The timeline goes that Justin and Selena were hanging out a lot in the late 2017 and seemed to get back together early 2018, until they looked to abruptly break it off. Not long after, Hailey came into the picture and they got married. After getting married, Hailey said in an interview how she often struggled and was ridden with guilt during the first few months of their marriage. This led some fans to believe it was because she stole Justin from Selena. These two definitely have an interesting and complicated relationship in the eyes of the media.